What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this week's episode of Hawk Talk. I'm your host, Xander Beeson, and today I'm joined with Jevon Kreidt. Jevon, if you just want to look in the camera and introduce yourself to the people.
Hi, my name's Jevon Kreidt. I am a senior here at DSU. I'm part of the science club, and I'm also a TA for science as well. So thank you for having me.
Well, I'd love to have you here. Need some more science representation, raise the IQ of Hawk Talk a little bit. Just first question, what brought you to DSU in the first place?
I'm from Dickinson, so I always wanted to go here when I was a kid, and I was always excited to be part of DSU culture, so that was a big part of being here.
Love to hear that. And obviously you're here as a representative of the Science Club. You can just tell me a little bit about what you guys do there. Yeah,
so in Science Club we do a lot of cool stuff, a lot of fun experiments. We really try and get out into the public, really try and do outreach and try and do experiments with a lot of the younger kids, a lot of the elementary schools, try and get high school involved with Science Olympiad. So that's a big part of what we do.
Love to hear that. What is your role in the club? Are you like the leader? Are you the big head honcho, or what is that?
No, I'm not the leader, but I just try and help out the best I can. I try and coordinate stuff for Science Club, and a big thing that we did is got discovery domes, so I've been trying to work with those and trying to get those out into the community in elementary schools, so I'm kind of helping out a lot with that.
Love to hear it. What are some of the things you guys have in store for this upcoming semester?
So we actually have a lot of big stuff coming. That's our biggest thing that we want to emphasize is public outreach and getting the community into science. So this year we have a science expo. We're calling it Science 24, and we're trying to get that on April 25th. We already have some vendors and some companies in town that are getting involved in that, so that's going to be a big thing coming up. We're trying to get tours, just like we have athletic tours. We're trying to get some science tours for kids interested in STEM that are in high school. So we're working on doing some of that. March 14th, we have Science Olympiad, and that's going to be another big thing that we do for the high schoolers, so that'll be good. The School of Applied Sciences is actually working together with Southwest Art Gallery and Science Center. They're just opening up. They have the art gallery portion open, and they are working on getting their science spot opened up. And the School of Applied Science is actually going to go hand in hand with them and work on exhibits for them and work together to do experiments over there. So once they get up and running, that's going to be another big thing that we have going on, as well as we have 2 discovery domes, e-planetariums, as I like to call them, and we're getting those out into the elementary schools right now. We used to have them, but we got them back, so that's another big thing that we're doing. And I'm actually going to Prairie Rose tonight to bring the Discovery Dome there with SCA and have a little STEM night with the elementary kids at Prairie Rose. So
that's awesome to hear. I remember when I was in elementary, we took the field trips to the planetarium. Those were always cool.
Oh yeah.
We talked a little bit before we started recording. You did say you were a TA for the science department. How did you get into that role, and what all do you do? What's your day-to-day look like?
Well, day-to-day is a little bit chaotic sometimes between, getting stuff ready for the labs that I teach, between physics and chemistry. It's a lot of work, but I really enjoy doing it, and it is really fulfilling. And then I also am a student here as well still, so I'm working on trying to do my classes along with trying to teach some classes, but I've really enjoyed it, and so it's really fun.
Is teaching something you want to go into, or what do you plan on doing once you graduate?
I don't quite know about the teaching side. I'm more than happy to help out, and I really like doing the labs with the students, but I am looking at trying to get my professional career started here pretty soon. I'm not sure if that will be teaching yet or not, but we'll see.
Well, we wish you luck in whatever you do. Going back to more of the club, talking about that, what kind of doors is being in a club like this open for someone who wants to pursue a career in science?
So it is really beneficial. I would say probably connections are the biggest thing, because you're in a club with a bunch of other people that are interested in science, so you're able to make some really great connections that way. And I feel like when you have a lot of like-minded people in a room, you kind of get to see each other's interests, especially in the science world, and get to understand what everyone else is interested in, and you might find that some of your interests kind of coincide with the interests of the other people in science club. So you get to do experiments, so when you're into science, that's always a fun thing to do. So I feel like it's a really good way to get into a room with a bunch of like-minded people and just do science stuff.
That's awesome. And for anyone that wants to join, we'll make sure we get those dates out on the Heritage Foundation Instagram. So anyone who is interested in partaking in any sort of science club events, you can go ahead and do that. What is the craziest conspiracy theory that you genuinely believe?
That I genuinely believe? Well, since I am in science, the moon landing, everyone thinks that's a conspiracy theory, but it's not. So
it did happen?
It did happen, and I will sit down and I will go over the physics of it if anyone is curious, because it did actually happen.
I don't know if we have time for that, but we might have to make sure that happens. That might be something. That might be a whole episode.
That might be a whole episode.
We might have to get all the hosts in here and we just talk about the moon landing. I'll debate anything.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care if I have knowledge. I'll sit here and debate you against that, even if I believe it happened. All right, final question. We ask this to everybody who comes on Hot Talk. What does DSU mean to you?
To me, it's a school that I've been at for 4 years now, and the culture around here is great. Everyone seems very into what they do, whether it be sports, academics, anything like that. I feel like it's the culture that really drives DSU, drives the students, and it makes it an enjoyable place to go to school.
Love to hear it. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us for the first part of this week's Kreidt episode. Later, you'll have Cass interviewing Jevon's father, Tim, as he's the athletic trainer for all the sports around campus. Stay tuned for that. And thank you. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.
Welcome to your on-campus interview. I'm your host, Cass Venner. Here, I'm in the BAC training room with athletic trainer Tim Kreidt. I'm going to have him introduce himself and kind of talk a little bit about his athletic training journey.
Hi, my name's Tim Kreidt. I'm the head athletic trainer here and also an instructor. They asked me to do a little bit of an interview here, and I said that'd be fine. I guess started here in 2000, same as Pete Stanton. We came in both the same year, and we're still both here. So I think we're on our 24th season. I think that would be classified as. And but no. I guess quick journey, went to the University of North Dakota for my undergraduate, went to St. Cloud State for my graduate degree, and spent a couple years in Bismarck with Med Center, was then Med Center, now Sanford. And then on a whim, I sent my resume out here, and I got an interview, and they said, hey, do you want the job? And so that was about it. And then came out here and been here ever since.
Oh, very cool.
Yep.
Very cool. What classes do you teach here at DSU?
Prevention and care of athletic injuries, and then anatomy in the kinesiology department.
Classic coloring book.
Classic coloring book,
Love
exactly.
That class is my favorite.
There's a group of students right now probably hating coloring right now.
You just got to get through it. That's
Yes,
the only
that's
thing.
exactly right.
Oh, man. So you are, yes, you're a professor here, but rumor has it now your son is he technically a professor here? Or
No,
kind of?
he's teaching labs in the
Okay.
science department.
Okay.
Proud of him. Yeah, he's kind of had a journey here at DSU also. Was on the track team, and then kind of took a break now from that, and now he's kind of getting into the teaching and chemistry and physics and stuff, which is neat. Proud of him, glad to see him doing that, and working his way through. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You guys are both kind of hanging out here, teaching, doing your
Yeah,
thing. That's pretty
absolutely.
sweet.
You are right.
Yes. So, also, rumor has it too, in the BAC training room, Tim, like you said, you kind of had a say in designing this.
Yep, some parts of it, absolutely.
Yeah. What are some of your favorite parts in here that you know?
Large space.
Yeah.
This is probably the double doors, so we have flow of things, an office separated there with windows so I can see what's going on. If you swing this way here, then we have a whirlpool area, also with windows and stuff so you can see through. High ceilings, good ventilation, double doors, nice taping area, also a nice treatment area, which is really nice. Big in space, that's really what I really liked over here.
Yeah.
And when we put this together, that was one of the deals, was to just get a lot of space for athletes to move through. And with football team, we run probably about 120 when we start. So you need a large space with this, and then the track team and the cross country team come over here also. And sometimes baseball, softball use it a little bit, but now softball has their own area, which is nice to see. But yeah, if we could get training rooms and locker rooms for everybody in their facilities, that would be really nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, no, this is a great space.
Yep,
I'd say.
wonderful space.
Yeah.
And serves the purpose well.
Yeah, do you teach some of your classes in here sometimes?
Yeah, we'll do lab over here. Prevention and care lab will
Okay.
be over here when we start that up, all the taping and bracing and crutches and splinting stuff we do over here.
Very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. All right, so for my final question, what
Okay.
does DSU mean to you?
People have asked me this before, and I guess kind of an extended family.
Yeah.
Because I've been around so long, and I walk around campus, and everybody's like, hey Tim, and it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
And you know, and I talk about sometime, you know, someday I'll retire here from here, and it'll be a sad day, kind of a double-edged sword. You know, there's a lot of work and a little bit of stress with the job and stuff like that, but then I'll be leaving kind of that extended family that I've kind of grown with over all these years.
Right.
And it's just, you know, 24 years, and depending upon how long I go yet, with could be 25, could be 30, you never know. And that I'll miss.
Yeah.
That just being around socially, around, and part of the young, just being around young athletes. You know, that college age group was really neat. Kind of keeps me young, they say. And that's a really good part of it too, and I enjoy that a lot. So I can see that, leaving the extended family and just that area of youth, you know, and that social aspect of it.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's a response that we're always getting, is that family aspect for sure. So
Oh,
I
good.
appreciate that. So,
There we go.
well, thank you, Tim. We appreciate you a lot here at DSU.
Oh.
So,
No, thank you.
Yeah, of
And
course.
no, I appreciate DSU and being part of it.
heck yeah.
And everybody. Thank you very much, guys.
You bet. All right, guys, welcome back to another Minute with President Easton. In honor of Valentine's Day, we want to hear about you and your wife's love story.
Okay, but it takes more than a minute. I'm sorry. Because the first portion is I'm a law student. After graduating from Dickinson State, I go out to Stanford to go to law school, and I'm involved in the Newman Center there, which is the Catholic parish on the Stanford campus. And so we have a little dance party one night, and I see this undergraduate student who's at the end of the event who's helping to clean up. And I think she's really cute, and she looks like a nice person, and so I offered to help her clean up. You know, I mean, I wasn't very good at these things when I was in. I thought, well, I'll offer to help her clean up, and she's like, no, I don't need any help clean up. And so I went home with my tail between my legs, and like, okay, she obviously doesn't like me, and she claims she doesn't even remember this event, which she probably doesn't. And then a year later, we're at a meeting of the board of the Newman Center, the little parish board. I'm on it and she's on it. And she comes up to me at the end of the meeting, not remembering that, and she says, I'm really sorry to do this, but I'm really desperate. She mentioned how desperate she was like 3 times. She said, I want to go, I've got 2 tickets to the John Denver concert in San Francisco, and I want somebody to go with me because, you know, it's a big city. And I've asked every guy I know, so she emphasized twice how desperate she was, and nobody wants to go to John Denver. And I said, oh, I love John Denver. And so out of complete desperation, she ended up, because as she emphasized, she talked to every guy she knew. And that was and as she emphasizes, when she tells this story, it wasn't a date, but then about 3 days earlier, I called and asked her if she wanted to go out to dinner before the John Denver concert, and that was the start. When I moved back to North Dakota, about 8 months later to practice law here, so we had 2 years of long distance and then got married the year after that.
What's up, everybody? My name is Xander Beeson, and I'm back with this week's DSU Weekly Recap. Both basketball teams are coming off tough losses against Mayville State last weekend, but they prepare to host their last conference games of the season as they take on Bellevue and Viterbo at home. Softball is back. Softball is back. We are excited to hear that. Excited to see that. As you guys know, 2 of our Hawk Talk hosts are softball players, so we're excited to see them back in full swing. They'll be heading to Jamestown tomorrow to compete in their first games of the season. Cheer just completed their first competition where they won and are now ranked the #1 team in the NAIA, so congrats to them. I know they all work hard, so we love to see everyone competing at the national level. Men's wrestling, they went to Minot this past Tuesday to face off against Minot State and will now have a weekend off before they head over to Iowa next weekend. Women's wrestling will also have a week off before they went to Jamestown, and then they will have 2 more weeks off before they travel down to Iowa. Indoor track and field, they were in Fargo this past weekend competing at the NDSU Bison Open, and then we'll head down to Brookings, South Dakota to compete in the SDSU Classic. As always, thank you for watching. Hawks are up.